Twitter reporting first quarter results this morning above analyst expectations, and the company saw its strongest year-over-year user growth ever. Joining us right now is Twitter CFO Ned Segal. Ned, thank you for joining us. We're all trying to make sense of this. You can look back at this last quarter, but really what everybody's trying to do is look forward. I think people, specifically when it relates to Twitter, trying to understand what you think the ad market's going to look like. And we did hear from Facebook and Google that they think that the first weeks of April were showing them that they thought that there was a sign of recovery. Are you seeing the same sign?
Well, it's an incredibly dynamic environment, Andrew. And so we think it'd be too early to discern trends based on what we or anybody else perhaps is seeing right now as this global pandemic continues to unfold. When we were trying on our earnings call, which just completed, to help people understand what we're seeing and what it's like to operate in this environment we find ourselves in today, we pointed to that March 11th to March 31st timeframe as ad revenue was down 27% in that timeframe, as our customers, that is advertisers, events were postponed to launch new products and services, as events around the world were postponed or canceled. And we, as those come back, we'll work hard to deliver Twitter to a bigger audience and to help advertisers even better than we've been able to so far.
How key for Twitter do you think are sports? Are live events? Ned, are you still with us?
I'm with you. Sorry, I lost you for a minute.
Where we really wanted to go was try to understand how key you think live events, sports, and the like are for Twitter, and how maybe that differs from some of your competitors.
Well, live events are a really big way that people use the service, but that's not just about something that's scheduled that we all go to a stadium or watch on our sofas. It could be something like The Last Dance, where you effectively have watch parties on the service where people feel like they're creating their community around them from their shelter-in-place environment. It could be a global pandemic where people come to the service to learn about it, to get trusted information and find out where they can learn more about any given topic around this global pandemic. So when we think about events, we think much more broadly than we do about sports and scheduled things, because so much that happens in the world isn't planned.
Ned, speak to what the mix of the advertising base looks like. How big a component is travel for you? We had Barry Diller on the program now about 2 weeks ago. We reference it constantly. I think I did it even in the last hour. He said that Expedia, for example, was going to go probably from a $5 billion ad budget this year to a $1 billion ad budget.
Well, travel isn't as big for us as other verticals where we feel like we perform really well helping media and entertainment companies, helping tech and telecom companies, consumer packaged goods companies, financial services companies, and many others where they want to be in front of their customers, launching new products and services and connecting with what's happening. Twitter tends not to be used as much by advertisers for considered purchases like plane tickets, so much as it might be for the new version of a mobile device, for a movie launch, or even just for connecting with your customers during this trying time, where advertisers talk about their loan forgiveness programs or about GoFundMes they're doing to support their customers.
So how closely are you following, therefore, just straight up consumer demand and what happens in the social distancing world, given that, you know, movie launches were something that were a valuable piece of the Twitter puzzle, or a new launch of a phone? And I think there's some real questions about, you know, what employment looks like this fall, whether people are going to rush into the Apple store to get the new phone or the new iPhone or other types of devices.
Well, we watch all these things very carefully, and we've seen some people continue to launch products and services, whether it's Xiaomi with the phone that they launched on Twitter, or you've seen ads for the iPad and other devices that have come out recently, movies and other things that have continued to launch. But when we step back more broadly, we think about the opportunity to help these advertisers, not just with these launches, but with more direct response formats over time. That'll start with app installs. That's a multi-tens of billions of dollars growing market where we have an important business today, but it needs to be and will be much bigger for us over time, given the hard work that we're doing. And we need to keep moving down that funnel for advertisers and helping get all the way to a purchase on Twitter eventually.
Right. How much advertising scheduled got moved to the third and to the fourth quarter? And is that money in the door already? Is that money that has to get booked later? Can they get out of it if, in fact, they decide that the business isn't there or that they even want to push it into 2021?
Well, it's too early, I think, to assess trends and decisions that advertisers have made in such a dynamic environment where this current stage of dealing with the global pandemic may evolve into a different one, may revert. We're seeing different behavior from different kinds of advertisers where some have already pivoted the things that they're advertising about. Others are waiting and others are continuing with the same campaigns that they had planned before. So I think it's too early to assess what's being pushed out, what's being canceled, and how exactly this all plays out. We try to step back from the days and weeks and think more about the years and our revenue product roadmap and how we can deliver even better for these advertisers over time.